Hi guys, it's your girl Shay, and I'm going to be bringing you through my hip focus leg day, my full workout routine. I realized that I hadn't updated you guys on like my leg days in a while. Like I know I do a lot of like weekly vlogs, week of workouts, stuff like that, but I don't think I've actually done like a dedicated just leg day workout in a while. So that's what this video is going to be, with a voiceover. I'm going to be explaining form tips, my sets, my reps, my weights, everything. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, first thing I do is a dynamic warm-ups and stretching for about 5 minutes or more, depending on how sore I am. So I have been focusing on hip opener exercises. So these are like just opening of my hips, hamstring exercises, ankle stretches, just working on my mobility. Like when I first started my fitness journey, girl, I was stiffer than a freaking plank of wood, okay? Like I didn't realize that squats can go like ass to grass. Like I didn't know that. I didn't know. Like I used to stop like 90-degree angle, which is still fine by the way. But like my goal has been getting like extreme depth. I can't even say that word. Just getting like really, really low in my squats and feeling it in my glutes. Now I do this every single leg day. What I have started doing is these weighted plate like hip opener exercises. So I think this is called the frog stance. But pretty much I am using a plate now because before I could just use my elbows and press against my hips, and that was enough pressure, but I need extra help because I'm obviously used to it, so I'm using a plate. The 25 plate does it perfectly, but you can obviously increase that. This I definitely feel sore like the next day because this is technically an exercise. Like any type of stretching, it's tearing down the muscles and then you're gonna build it back up. So this is a great exercise. The more I work on my hips and my mobility, the heavier weights I can get, more depth I can get, more just like flexibility, mobility. So this is just a great thing to incorporate, and this is something that I will do before my leg exercises. So this is just like, I guess, the warm-up. I think some people used to do this after their workout, but I prefer to do it before just because I want to make sure that all my leg muscles and the stuff that I'm going to work out is nice and warm, and we're going to avoid injuries. So I know for leg days, because I'm going to be doing a lot of compound movements. I said it so weird. Compound movements. Like, so these are exercises that require more than one muscle or more than one body part. So usually leg days, I'm hitting hip thrusts, squats, deadlifts, stuff like that. So I want to make sure that I am as warmed up as possible. You don't want your body being stiff. That's when injuries occur. So I like to do these leg swings. I like to take my time with them, lean up against a wall. I do them to the front, to the back. I also do them at an angle just to make sure my hips are even more open than what it was before. I work full time. I sit at a desk all day. Okay, so my legs are super stiff. My hamstrings are nice and tight after a full day of work. So I want to make sure that's all nice and warmed up because, like I said, we don't want no injuries. Okay. So I spend a lot of time making sure that everything is nice and warmed up. I don't do any sort of like static stretching. So static would be like where you stay in one spot and you just do that stretching. I save that for if I need to do that after my workout, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't do it. I know I should. I don't. I barely have like an hour for my workout after work before I have to leave. So yeah, it's just what works for me. I like dynamic stretching. That means you're putting your body through the motion. You're not really like staying in one spot, and that just honestly helps me out. Okay, it works for me. I don't know if it works for y'all, you can do it too, but this is just what works for me. This is my routine. So the first part of my workout I'm spending is warming up, dynamic stretching, kind of scoping out the gym too, because a lot of the times when I get into the gym, I am super anxious. Like I have been going to the gym for more than 6 years now for sure, and I cannot tell you the time that I've been to the gym and I didn't feel anxious. So like, it's just a part of my personality at this point. But what I found this helps is doing stretching or doing some cardio right before, so you can kind of scope up the gym and kind of like psych yourself out and you're like, okay girl, it's not that bad. So I have stopped doing barbell hip thrusts. Honestly, I hate the setup. I'm not gonna lie to you, I hate it. It takes too much goddamn time, okay? Like I told you, I only have an hour. So I've been using this machine. I used to hate it, and now I love it because I figured out how to use it properly. But it's the, I don't even know what they call it, hip thruster machine or whatever. Anyways, so I'm doing B stance hip thrust. So if you don't know what B stance is, it's almost like a single leg exercise, except you have your second leg kind of like for stability, kind of helping you out, taking a little bit of pressure off that one leg. It's a great thing to incorporate when you are like, I guess, burnt out of your exercises. Like I typically do hip thrusts where it's 2 legs, but I lower my weights for single leg exercises like this. So I got a little too eager and I put 45s on each side, and I was like, oh, this is heavy. It's heavy, girl, okay? But great work. If you have a glute imbalance, this is something that you should be doing, okay? Take notes. And this is how I'd be looking right after a set. I'm just done. I'm done. That shit hurts. Okay. But yeah, I used to have a really bad glute imbalance. So that was where, like, when I did, like, for example, hip thrust, I would feel it more in one leg than the other. And it was super annoying. But I started doing single leg exercises and I fixed it. So I want to show you from a different angle how I position my feet. So it's a little bit difficult on this machine. It's kind of easier when you do like barbell hip thrust, but I just put my working leg a little bit kind of like a 90-degree angle, and then my non-working leg, I put it a little bit forward. It's still there helping. You're still going to feel it in that glute on that side. It's just, it's going to be, the percentage is going to be like the leg, the 90-degree leg is going to be doing more work, okay? So I do 10 sets, not 10, oh my God. Can you imagine 10 sets? I do 10 reps for each leg, okay? And I try to hold at the top and kind of squeeze the glute and really feel it. You don't want to do these too quickly, you know? That's going to hurt your back, but like, I just find for me, I would rather lower the weight and be able to do a rep like extremely properly, have that muscle connection rather than increase my weight and I'm just like swinging, you know what I mean? But yeah, look at how I am so done. I'm so done, honestly. Like sometimes I get into the gym and I'm like, I don't even think I have the energy today. And I don't take no pre-workout. I can't take no caffeine. I have nothing really to kind of, you know, give me energy. Literally nothing. So yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so one of my favorite exercises, these are the elevated barbell RDLs. Okay, so RDL stands for Romanian deadlift. Ever since I started training my hamstrings, my glutes like sit up like that nice little shelf. Like I've been loving it. I used to neglect hamstrings. I don't even know why. I don't know why. It just wasn't important to me, but I started doing it. So what I'm doing is I am taking a barbell and I have 35 pounds on there. So I think this is 115, and I'm going to be doing 3 sets of 10. So I want to do slow and controlled reps. I'm really trying to focus on getting that stretch in my hamstrings. So I keep a slight bend in my knee to make this more glute focused rather than hamstring focused. It's still going to work your hamstrings, but just not as much. There is a version that you can do that is more straight leg, that is purely hamstring focused, takes kind of like the glutes kind of out of it. But I want to focus on both, and my goal is to grow my glutes. So this is, you're really going to feel it in the bottom of your glutes. Like if you look where my leggings are, that little dark band, you're going to feel it there, okay? In that glute hamstring tie-in. It's really targeting the lower booty, help lift it and elevate it and everything. So the reason I had the plate under my feet is to give me a little bit of elevation. I am a very tall girl, okay? I'm 5'7", and I noticed that putting a plate helps me get like a bigger stretch. So think of it like if you were kind of, well, obviously elevated. You're gonna feel it more, okay? So now we're gonna go into, honestly, the best, but my least favorite exercise, elevated Bulgarian split squats. So I'm going to be doing 4 sets of 8. So I opted to go lighter with these instead of going heavier because I wanted to focus on form, focus on, you know, doing the motion slower. So once again, I have a plate in front of my front foot just to make this a little bit more glute focused. And I'm using my foot against the bench just as like kind of a balance, okay? So I'm holding the dumbbell in the same side of like my working leg, and I'm focusing on getting that depth. So I'm saying depth, but y'all know I just got some kind of slurs. I can't say it, but yeah, depth. Okay, so yeah, I'm doing each leg, and honestly, I gotta take a breather. Like, I didn't realize how much this elevates your heart rate. Like, I actually had to stop this for a while because, girl, it was damn near killing me. I had a panic attack one time doing these. Like, it was just disturbing. But the juicy pump it gives your glutes is just amazing. So, you know, when it's time to do this, I hate it, but I'm like, oh, but I want to and I need to. So don't skip them. But adding the plate underneath your foot definitely helps. If you are more quad focused and you're kind of feeling it too much in your quads and you're like, I don't feel it in my glutes, you need to take like a wider stance. So move that front leg a little bit forward, but try putting the plate. That definitely has helped me, and I am completely quad dominant. I've just found ways to like tailor my exercises to make it more glute focused. So sometimes I do this with 2 dumbbells in each hand, like 1 in each hand, or sometimes I do it with 1. I increase the weights, but this takes a lot out of me. So usually by the time I've gotten to this point, like, I'm just exhausted. Like, look at me, like, okay, like sweating it up. This really is cardio. This really is cardio. Okay, there's so many ways you can do Bulgarians. You can use a plate, like hold it above your head. You can use barbells. You can use dumbbells. When I see those girls using barbells to do this, I'm like, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who lied to you? Okay. So then I'm just going into my second set. I want to kind of film it from a different angle, but this is how I set it up. So I get myself into that bottom position, and then I'm going to be working from there. See, I almost lost some pounds, but I work from there. And then I know, okay, this is how my body's going to go. This is how I set up my Bulgarians, and that's what works for me. If I'm feeling it too much in my quads, I kind of take a break, or I will adjust my foot, like my front foot. I'll move it up to the front, or I'll use a glute band and kind of like get that activation going. Because us quad dominant girls, okay, if we don't get those glutes activated, it's gonna be a problem. That's why I do my hip thrust first. So everything else, I feel it in my glutes. The next exercise is something that it's become my favorite, honestly. So it's the glute focused back extension. So this is a glute and hamstring exercise similar to the RDLs. So if you don't like RDLs, you can probably do this one. But this is something I like to do at the end as like almost like a burnout. So I do 3 sets of 10. The first set I'm gonna do like just body weight, just warm up. So I have my hands crossed behind my head, just making sure I feel everything in my glutes. Like, this has your hamstrings burning. Like, this hurts, okay? But you really want to focus pushing your hips into that the pad there. And I have my feet turned outward to make it more glute focused. So my second set that I'm gonna do is gonna be with weights. So I used to start off with like 45 pounds, but the plate was too kind of like bulky to like carry. So I decided today to go with the 25 pound and just kind of like really focus on the reps. Honestly, I was hurting, okay? But I took the 25 pound plate. Sometimes I'll be looking in the mirror and I'm like, should we get a BBL? And then I'm like, nah, we working for this. This is real grown booty over here, okay? But yeah, so I use the plate, and this is the end of my workout. So my energy level is just like, it's depleted, okay? I am exhausted. I'm exhausted, okay? And then sometimes I do like a burnout, and so I would kind of go until failure, do as many reps as I can, and honestly, that would be the end of my workout. That's it, finito, okay? Because I ain't got no more energy. All right, so this is my hip focused leg day. This is like all glute focused, and don't you worry, I'm gonna be doing a quad focused leg day, so look out for that. And if you got it this far in the video, comment a peach emoji, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.